Last time on Trials of Mana.
It's like that comedian that's just like, you get panicked. You're hitting buttons. They put crouch in the different buttons, and suddenly your man is wandering around the battlefield for no good reason.
Yeah, I really like that comedian.
Episode 5. A Hero Must Be Found. Alright, we return to Trials of Mana. Big stretch.
I know. Kevin's like, we've been waiting for so long.
Kevin's like, big yawn.
Oh, because he's a wolf.
He's a wolf, yep. Big yawn.
You can't see an animal yawn and not go, big yawn.
I've learned it from you. I take a lot of things from you, like, good morning, I'll be going down now. Alright, anywho, this is our first boss. This is the Fullmetal Hugger. I think it's a crab.
Yeah, he looks like a crab.
Crab battle.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll wake up in the morning and like go, good morning, and then roll back over and die again.
Yep.
Just like go back to sleep.
So here we have this giant enemy crab. You gotta attack its weak point for massive damage.
Isn't its weak point its belly?
It's its eyes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the soft underbelly.
That was at the trade show when the PlayStation 3 was revealed. There was this speaker that was just like, alright, so in this game we have this giant enemy crab, and what you gotta do is attack its weak point for massive damage. And like, this was when meme culture was just starting to sprout.
Okay.
So like, that was a meme of the PS3, and the other one was $599 US. Our new PS3 is $599 US. People would be like, $1,700.
How much is the PS5 selling for? Like retail.
So there's two versions.
Is it like $600?
There's two versions. There's the digital version and the disc version. The disc version is $600. The digital version is $500.
It's so funny to me because there are people online selling like PS5 used one time, $750, and I'm like, why wouldn't someone just buy it new?
Because they're hard to come by. They're hard to come by. We see one a month.
Well, I meant like new at a like Best Buy or
they're
you know.
hard to come by. There is no stock.
Why?
Because Sony's fucking up.
Like, I don't know. It just seems scammy to me. I'm like, I would just pre-order one at a store and just wait it out.
Alright, this is our first,
Like, how are you gonna release a new console and just not have enough?
I don't know.
Weird.
I don't know how that works, but it confuses me. Because, like, the Wii was like that for a bit, but eventually it, like, caught up because, like, Nintendo just wasn't as confident. Like, they were hoping it would sell, but they had no idea
But I mean,
it would
like, this
sell
is a
as well as it
PlayStation
did.
5.
Yeah,
it's
you've
not
been
like a
around the
weird,
block.
unusual console. I really like the element.
The elementals in this game. This one looks like a fruit gusher.
They're so cute.
This one in particular. So yeah, when we collect the elementals, we learn elemental abilities.
I think some of them look like some things that are NSFW.
Oh yeah?
Not safe for work.
Okay.
But like, how cute is that?
Yeah. Like the little...
His little eyes. Kind of looks like a snout, like he's blinking with his nostrils.
It does
but...
look like a snout. Like a little pig snoot.
Yeah.
A crack?
It's funny.
And it just doesn't have eyes.
Wait. Maybe a short...
Charlotte's like, what was that? Where are we?
The elementals are actually very efficient for Angela and Charlotte. So there we go. Now we have Healing Light. And we can also use like Holy Saber, and we'll learn a lot of spells.
Yeah.
I'm on the job.
Well, because I know, like, when we were looking it up, Charlotte is the one that does the best against the door.
Yes.
I hate that door.
Yeah, well, we'll get to the door.
I hate that the worst
Now we have
enemy
Healing
we
Light.
faced in this game was a fucking door.
Yup.
I mean, it said push and we kept pushing, but you really just had to pull it open.
But what really sucks is, like, that boss is fairly early in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like...
Some of the ladder bosses, as hard as they are, aren't as frustrating as that door.
There was the one, I think it was Wind, maybe? Where, like, I just kept getting knocked down. Bodies were flying everywhere. I was freaking out.
Yep.
You were laughing maniacally.
Oh, there goes Hawkeye.
Literally, bodies were flying through the air.
Ragdolling through the air.
I'm screaming. You're laughing maniacally.
I found it amusing, yes. I was just like, well, let's see how this pans out. As he slams into the ground for the 5th time in the row.
I was like, why is this so hard? I'm playing on easy mode.
I think that's why I found it most funny. Because, like, you were blazing through the first 2 Benevodons. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
If she blazes through this one, I'm changing
Well, that was
the
the
difficulty to normal.
door. 'Cause
And then
the
I
door
saw
came,
Hawkeye fly
the door,
by and I
well,
laughed.
the door came first, and you told me, you were like, listen, if like it doesn't get harder for you, we're gonna put it on normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, I mean, I was doing really freaking well.
Yeah, you were cheesing a lot of boss battles.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And you were like, maybe you're better than I thought. And then I hit the door, and you were like, never mind. We'll leave it on easy.
nah, you're good. We'll take it easy until the end. I love this part coming up. Uh-oh. Oh, pow!
Just slap the shit out of him.
What do you think you're doing?
Fairy's like, oh my god, you just hit 2 children!
Saved us some trouble.
Luger comes. Peekaboo, here comes my fist!
Nothing stopping us from invading Wendell. This is
Alright, so this was where the demo actually would end.
Yeah.
Right after he knocks them
I
off
remember
the
because
waterfall.
you played the demo. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
watched the demo, and we were both like, wow, this is like a lot of gameplay
Yeah.
for a demo.
Apparently Dragon Quest XI is like that. Like, you get a good, 2 hours of the game
Wow.
to play as the demo. Like, they were that confident.
And honestly,
And it's
I
actually one
I
of the
think that's like,
best-selling Dragon Quests.
I think that's a very smart thing to do because you get hooked. You're like, oh shit, like they just got smacked off a cliff. Like I need to know what happens.
Well, not just that, but I know
But you experience all of the
with
gameplay.
Dragon Quest, you could then transfer your save file from the demo to the real game if you just
so you
wanted
didn't
to
have
continue.
to okay. But yeah, I feel like that was a smart move just because you get to experience battle in several different ways, in several different locations. You get to meet 2 characters and kind of like hear their stories. You get to really see like where the plot is going.
Exactly.
So I think it's a very smart move instead of just like,
And
oh,
like
here's
in the case
like,
of Trials of Mana, you could select a new character and technically have more bang for your buck.
yeah,
Because like the demo, you could pick, I'm pretty sure, any of the 6 characters you wanted.
yeah.
And it had their prologue up to the Cascade Cavern.
Right. Well, because, like, we were talking about this, I believe, in a different playthrough, but, like, Trials of Mana has so much replayability because
Yeah.
you have, 6 characters?
Yes.
And not to mention, each character has 4 different paths that they can choose from.
Correct.
So there are so many different combinations of, games you can play. Like, this is the 3rd time we've played it.
Yeah.
And it's different.
What do you mean?
Like, big parts are still the same, like, what's
Yeah.
happening right now with Fairy.
Yeah, this cutscene happens no matter who you play as. So there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences that warrants a second playthrough.
Yeah.
Which, no, I really like.
I'm trying to decide if I want to paint Fairy in acrylics or watercolor.
Ooh.
Because she's very much like a watercolory type creature.
Continue either. Please go on without us.
But if I paint her in watercolors, she can't go up on the wall.
Okay.
Because it'll be on paper.
Yeah.
The mana tray.
So it'll be like Riesz.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, someone got to go up there with Charlotte.
Charlotte.
It's weird that Charlotte's the one's worthy of the wall. And Riesz is like, huh, okay.
I like Riesz better as a painting, though. Like, my little paintings, if you guys haven't visited our Facebook page yet, like, go
Yeah.
hop on, check it out. I have some pictures of, like, these little paintings that I've been doing of just video game characters, anime characters.
Yep, we've also done some speed drawings,
yeah.
which is our new kitty crafts.
Yeah. But I've been doing a lot of these like little paintings. It's a big stress reliever for me because I feel like sometimes I don't get to be as creative or like as artsy as I want to be, and that really lets me like
Express yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even express myself, but do it. Like it forces me to do just a little bit of painting,
Captured
you
as
know,
well?
every now and then. I want her shoes.
There she is, best girl Riesz.
I love her.
My
Here
name
she
is
comes
Riesz.
to save the
From the
day.
kingdom of
She's
Laurent.
so cute.
She's got like that like glove where like
I was
there's
ambushed by beastmen
what's
in
going on
Cascade
here?
They're
Cavern
gauntlets.
and ended
Oh,
up
So
okay.
it protects your forearm, but it stays up because it's attached to your finger.
Oh.
So they don't like slide off her arms.
Please,
Oh, so that's how a gauntlet works.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
And-
gauntlet was
Well,
just like an armored
I think,
glove.
yeah, I think a gauntlet is the armored glove. That is like it's a dress term,
Hey, look,
like a
it's
dress
Ferretti.
gauntlet. Ferretti. But like the dress gauntlet does the same thing. Like my Aunt Tracy wore those types of gloves to her wedding, where it like
Gotcha.
hooks to your finger and goes up your arm.
No kidding.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
Yeah, she has a great aesthetic. Her shoes,
Yeah.
her little headdress.
Her aesthetic is my favorite
Mm-hmm.
until we get to like the latter costumes
Yeah.
for the bad side, where they're like, we'll just have her be naked, and I'm like, that's not Reese's character.
So the reason we call Ferretti is if your
Oh my
third character
God.
is Kevin and he tricks him.
He says Fur Eddie. I'm sorry, Fur Eddie, and I lost my shit.
Here.
I believe that's in the first experience.
Are you unharmed?
Because I played
Is it?
Trials of Mana as a first
That is
experience
fortunate.
whenever
Okay.
I played it for the
But
first
we must
time.
hurry to
Okay.
the docks
And I think
leave
it's in
this
there.
I
town.
think it might be. I don't know if we made it that far.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I know that like I definitely lost my shit when he
Yeah.
said Fur Eddie.
The townsfolk were talking about
I
it
couldn't handle
earlier.
it.
We must hurry.
Kevin is just unintentionally funny.
He is
He
so
cracks me up.
funny. Like Reese is my favorite aesthetic for characters, but I think Kevin is my favorite character.
Okay.
Just because he's so awkward and like he's a beast and he's a powerhouse, but he's also like, I don't know what to do.
He's like, well, this is awkward.
Yeah, like it's just hilarious. I just love it.
All right, so now it's time to escape from prison. The Great Escape, everyone. Part of me doesn't
Well, that
like
was
this part
easy.
because you got to fight a lot of wolves.
Yeah, like
Like I try to avoid them as often as possible because I don't like hearing their squeals.
I know we turned the volume down playing this one.
Whereas other enemies like the rabbits and mushrooms, just like I don't care what. I love the sound of your screams.
See, it's so funny because like the dogs, I feel like are actual threats in this
Yes.
situation. They could bite you and like tear you apart. Where
Well,
like
they're defending their fort.
yeah, where like the rabbits are just like oh god, like
Boingy, boingy, boingy.
yeah, and then they're just like murdered senselessly in their homes. I'm just like, oh no, these poor little rabbits.
But like all the rabbits do is like flop, whereas the howlers squeal, and that's
Yeah.
all it takes.
Well, I feel like there's also a difference of like those are like actual creatures. So like Wesker's laying right behind us. He looks like that, you know. So
Yeah.
it's sad. You like associate that with your own pets, and you know
Right.
the rabbits don't really
Exist.
exist.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like you're
They
killing
just
a
look like
fake
live
creature.
plush toys.
Yeah. So I feel like the
So it's
dogs
like,
are a little bit harder
"Yeah, they're
because
cute,
they're
but I don't really
actual
care."
dogs, you know.
And the squeal just like
Yeah.
twists the knife.
Because I know I would be really sad if, like, while Kevin's running, he just, like, Spartan kicks a cat down the hall. I would be real sad. So,
See, I'm just
Could
thinking
you
back to the dude
imagine?
that like Spartan kicked the dove.
oh my
Or the
god, that's
pigeon.
so funny. If you haven't watched our other playthrough of Hat in Time, it's really funny because she, like, jumps up on the roof and she just, like, kicks the pigeon. And I was just like, did she just kick that bird? She is so sassy. I love it.
Well, she's sassy without having like dialogue, which
Yeah.
is really cool. Like she doesn't like chat. She's just like "Nyeh," or
Yeah.
mine. or,
Yeah,
"No."
she says like small words, but for the most part she'll like stick her tongue out.
She's
Like
part of the book of like Link. Like
Yeah.
Link is like that, especially in Wind Waker. He's very expressive, but he's not
Yeah.
gonna talk. He'll just be like,
yeah, I love it. I think that that's
and he'll be like,
part of me
Oh.
likes that better than like how Mario doesn't have an expression a lot of the time. Paper Mario Origami King was like the first one that I saw him be
Yeah.
really, really expressive.
yeah. The newer Mario games, he's very expressive.
Okay, so I was gonna say like,
Like,
Partners in
"Wee!
Time, it's just like you are Mario, so everyone around you is really expressive, but
Mm-hmm.
you as Mario are not. Whereas like I really love that you're playing as Link and he's super expressive and like
He falls down a hole.
yeah, yeah. That made me kind of sad the first time I like fell off a cliff in Link's Awakening and he was like, ah! I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry, little buddy. Oh yeah.
My favorite is when he gets electrocuted or caught on fire. He goes, it's really funny.
I mean, it's just like seeing that and like enjoying it so much. Their like little expressions and things make me understand why people liked playing Sims.
Okay. Like drowning your Sims, catching them on fire.
Not necessarily like hurting your Sims, but just like the aspect of creating like this little world and this like little family or house or these people and like watching them just be.
Okay.
I can see where the fun in that would be.
Okay.
I've never played Sims, so I don't know.
I've had like 1 or 2 sessions.
Yeah, I
on,
don't
like,
know
a friend's
exactly like
computer.
how expressive they are,
Okay.
but from my understanding, they like get upset or they
Yes.
show happiness. So it's like they have those emotions, but they don't talk.
Yeah.
They just kind of like.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I can kind of understand after seeing like Link and Mario and Hat Kid why that's fun.
Well, like, Nintendo has tried a couple times to, like, give their characters voices, and, like, for the most part, it never works.
Yeah.
Like, I think the only one they do right is Fox McCloud. Like, Fox McCloud is from Star Fox.
Okay.
He has a personality, he has a voice, and, like, he has dialogue.
Well,
Whereas
I think the thing is, like, if you give them a
everyone
voice,
else works best.
give them the character and leave that character alone.
Yeah.
You know, don't try and like change it or update it. Just let them be that character.
That was where they screwed up with Metroid. Like, they tried to give
Okay.
her, like, this tragic backstory and, like, some actual, like, like mental disorders and stuff like that, and it's just like, on a surface level, if this was any other character, I think everyone would be cool with it. But this
Yeah.
is Samus Aran, a character that's over like 20 years old,
Yeah.
that's well known and grew up with some generations.
So you
You
try
can't
to,
just
yeah, you
throw
try
this
to,
out
like,
of nowhere
change the character.
and change
and
this
it just doesn't
character,
work.
and it doesn't work exactly because the problem is, like, you're not considering all of her accomplishments, you're not
Yeah.
considering all of the other games, so like you're doing it because you want to, but it doesn't line
Yeah.
up with everything the character
See,
has already
that's
done.
where, in my head, why wouldn't you make a new character with that backstory?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
feel like that
if you
would have
wanted
been
to incorporate that
much
type
better
of like
received.
deep, dark, tragic backstory, introduce a new character
Mm-hmm.
that either is like another playable character or like someone that tags along or someone they meet along the way, something important to the plot of that game.
I feel like the creator got too ambitious. I
Yeah.
feel like they had a good story and they just kind of rolled with it, not realizing how attached people were to that character.
Yeah.
Even though, like, he himself saw her as, like, more of a blank slate to just pour personality onto. And, like, that's a misconception. People think Link is a blank slate. He's not. He has a lot of personality,
Yeah.
and he has a lot of little cues that you need to pick up on, or you miss the point of the character.
Yeah.
That's why, like, there's such a big defense when people are just like, why isn't Link just a girl? I'm like, because that would defeat the purpose of Link.
I have a lot of issues with people that are like, well, why isn't Link a girl? Or like killing Link off so Zelda can have a moment to shine. And I'm just like, why not have them work together?
Yeah.
You know, why push him off a cliff?
It's
And
funny
then-
you say that, whereas the new trailer, Zelda falls off a cliff and Link is back in the cave. Long hair flowing
Yeah.
in the wind.
But I just don't understand where it's like, instead of killing him off or pushing him down so that she looks like she's higher,
Yeah.
bring them up to equal grounding, you know?
Well, that's
So,
Western
I
audiences
just
for
don't
ya.
understand why, like, he has to die or just go away altogether for her to have a moment to shine.
because it is made by a Japanese company, and I know at the end of the
I
day they
love
don't
them, 'cause they're
care
just-
about that stuff.
That was so funny. Well, why
I'm
isn't Link a
fine.
girl? Because Link's a boy.
Oh my god.
Like,
Because Link's a boy. And like, what's funny is they weren't even trying to be sassy. They were just being honest. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, Link's a boy.
I love
Here at
representation.
Nintendo, Link is a
but-
boy.
Yeah, I love representation, but I also love it when it's done well. So like in the Loud House, I've been watching the cartoon Loud House because I'm an adult. Just kidding. It's not even like an old cartoon. It was from like 2016. I was already out of college. Like,
No
I was
excuse.
an adult with a career at the time. But like the one sister is gay, and it's not a big deal. It's
Yeah.
not like an entire show about her and her personality and her life and things like. She just is.
Well, yeah, because that's not the point of the show.
And it's like, to me, that shows like she's a person, and just because of her preference for a partner,
Now then,
that's just who
Yeah.
she is. Like, it's not a big deal, and it's not a main focus because it's who she is.
Right.
So like, her sisters are excited for her because she's happy with her partner, and that's it. I love that type of representation because it shows that like you just are. You don't have to be center stage because of what everyone is saying. Like,
Exactly.
you are allowed to exist as you are. You know what I mean? You're normal. It's not like special or different. You're normal, and I like that type of representation.
I agree. I also really like the Kingdom of Laurent. I just like the aesthetic and the design of it. Like, it's very like Valkyrie-like.
Yeah.
I get
they
all
are
strong
Valkyrie
vibes. They're Amazon, but like basically Valkyrie.
I feel definitely more Valkyrie than Amazon. Amazons are supposed to be giants.
Yeah,
Riesz is very small.
but they're considered Amazon.
She's
That's
small.
what it is. The Amazon Princess of Laurent.
Far. I assume he is still on the ground.
I'm gonna pretend she's a Valkyrie.
I am certain
Sure.
you will find him if you search.
We very easily could.
I think that's the one
where could he be?
that I chose for her later in the game.
The Valkyrie.
Yeah, it was a Valkyrie.
Yeah, the Valkyrie is the class that she can change.
Yeah.
Because you can either go Valkyrie or Dragoon. And like Dragoon's really cool, but Dragoon leads to Beastmaster. Beastmaster isn't that cool. Beastmaster doesn't fit Riesz.
Oh,
Beastmaster is the one of these things is not
Yeah.
like the other. One of these things was made for boys to fap.
Yeah.
That's it.
It just like, it's so sad to me that they did that.
Well, what's nice is it's just a choice. So it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't see that. Move on to Valkyrie.
Again, it's sad
Or
because like that's
Star
not,
Lancer.
it just feels so out of her character. Whereas like if that costume was on Angela, I'd be like, well, yeah, because she
Yes.
wants attention.
Yes.
But
Well, Angela has her own
Yeah,
like
she has her own.
XXX dark path
pasties
costume.
and thong costume.
Their mother passed away just as
So,
the prince was born.
whose story did you find the
She
most
did not
tragic?
live to see her son.
The most like, aw.
Hmm.
The young
Because like
Riesz
they all like
never
try to
forget
pull at your
the
heartstrings
mother
in
she
some
took
way.
away, just as her dear little brother.
See, I feel like it depends on like where I'm at in life.
Okay.
So like the first time we experienced all the stories, I felt really, really bad for Kevin.
Okay.
Only found
Because he kills his pooch.
Yeah. And it's just like this tragicness of like he felt like he did what he had to do, but it just haunts him. And I can like definitely relate and understand to that, but like where I'm at now in my life, I feel really bad for Riesz.
Okay.
So like losing her mom and, you know, essentially like raising her brother. I mean, I'm not raising my siblings, but like I just lost my mom.
Mother.
So it's like I feel really bad for her.
Okay.
So of just being like trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Because like then you have Duran who loses his father and
Yeah.
it kind of like consumes him to where like he can't even be a member of the household. Because
See,
he's just kind of like
I
obsessed with it.
feel like I would really, really relate to Duran as well, but I honestly, watching from a phone screen and not being able to hear it, I don't really know too much of his story.
Oh, okay.
Because he wasn't in my party.
Yeah, well, he's not in
And
this
then-
party,
Yeah,
so...
he wasn't in this party either. So like I don't really know too much about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean like I'm a sucker for like dead parents. Like
Gotcha.
that's like my button of like,
Yeah.
oh no, and like insta tears.
Here they are, Bill and Ben.
I'm gonna start doing that to customers that annoy me at work. I'm gonna move like them.
Just,
what
like,
do you want?
talk
A
very
macchiato?
expressive.
Like
Oh, gee.
Would you like this book for $4.99 with your macchiato? Like,
Why do you have to have the accent, though?
I don't know. That's just how they sound to me in my head. I know that's not what
okay.
they sound like at all. They sound like regular people.
Yeah, they
but
sound like very plain, which caught me
They
off guard.
sound like people named Bill and Ben.
Yeah, because like when you see them, you expect like a Shredder voice. It's
Yeah.
like,
Come here, little prince.
But they're just like,
We
hey,
shall
dude, what's up?
Punish the turtles.
where it's just like, hey, how's it going, little
I
prince?
know.
Let's go see that windstone. Wink, wink.
But see, though, the problem is, like, when I'm moving my upper torso like that, I can't help but sound like a little bit jaggy.
Okay.
Like,
But like, it's interesting how they chose some of the actors because again, this was originally a Super Nintendo game. So you saw characters like Bill and Ben, and it's just like, oh, these guys are like resolute ninjas,
Yeah.
stealth badasses, like Shredder and
I know, part of me likes that
Money
they're just kind of like normal-ass people, though.
yeah.
Because to me, like, we get some of their backstory, but, like, honestly, whenever I think about a backstory for them, I think that they, like, stole those costumes.
Okay.
Like, they stole the uniforms, and now they're just trying to wreak havoc. And I'm like, it makes more sense that they'd be like, hey,
Okay.
because they're not actually those people,
Okay.
but they, like, stole the costumes, and they're just
Gotcha.
doing their plot.
All right then. We'll see you guys in the next part.
Doodles!